So, like most people, I've been working from home for over a year and a half now, and with that, I've had lots of time to kind of create a space that makes me really productive and I actually enjoy working at. So here it is, my productive work from home desk setup. What's going on, guys? Alex here, and I'm back with another video, and today I'll be talking about my desk setup. Now, I made this video 6 months ago and it kind of did a lot better than I expected. It was one of the first videos that got any amount of views, which was great to see. And a lot has changed since I made that video, so I thought I'd do an updated one. So the last setup was very budget friendly, and this one's slightly more expensive, but still trying to be as budget conscious as possible. So the desk itself is pretty much the exact same as previously. It is the classic YouTuber desk setup with the 2 Alex drawers on either side and then an Ikea tabletop on top. And I've gone for the Linman because it's the cheapest one and it does the job. I went for 75 centimeters deep by 150 wide. So it's a huge desk and I've lots of space for everything. I never feel cramped on it, which is great. And yeah, I really like it. Again, this is a very budget friendly desk. The Ikea drawers are €50 each and then the tabletop is only €20. So for €120 you have a massive desk that has lots of storage and lots of space to do everything you need. Then probably the main thing on this desk setup is the laptop. I've made countless videos on this at this stage, but I have the M1 Macbook Pro from last year, November 2020. And I went for the 16GB model in RAM and just the base storage of 256 gigs. I don't need to say too much about it, but this laptop is amazing. It'll do me for a long time. I know there was new laptops released, but I think the M1 is perfect for what I need and there's no need to upgrade. I went for the base storage because I use these Sandisk 1TB external SSDs to store all my footage and edit off, so the base storage is fine. I haven't even put a dent in it. All my stuff is on these SSDs and they're quite cheap to buy off Amazon. So the only issue I have with this laptop is the fact that there's only 2 USB-C ports, and to combat that I've bought this adapter from Anker. It's the one that takes up the 2 ports, but it sticks right to the side of your laptop. Because I have my laptop in clamshell mode 90% of the time, I wanted it to be stuck in there rather than having dongle hanging off. And this gives me a HDMI port, 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, an SD card slot and a micro SD card slot. So once I have my laptop docked, I can put in an SD card as if there was an SD card slot in the laptop. It works great. Obviously it's not ideal, but this is a great little hub for my setup. So next up, probably the biggest upgrade since my previous setup, and that is the monitor. So I went for the LG UL 27850-W. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's a really good monitor. It's been a great purchase for me. And the main reason why I went for this monitor was because of the USB-C connectivity. So I have one cable that comes from the monitor to the laptop, it transfers the data, and it also charges it. So that's just huge. It means I don't have any extra cables on my desk that I don't need, and yeah, it just frees up a lot of space. So this is a 27-inch 4K monitor, and the picture quality is really good for what I use it for. On the back you have a USB-C port, 2 HDMI ports, a display port, and 2 USB-A ports. So this covers me for everything that I need. Obviously it's quite an expensive monitor. It comes in around €500 at the moment, but I think for the specs that it has and USB-C capability, it is a good price for the market that's out there. So the monitor does come with a decent stand and with a lot of adjustments. You can move it up and down, you can tilt it, and you can even rotate the screen 90 degrees. But I just found that the arc at the bottom was just taking up too much space on the desk. So I opted to get a really cheap monitor arm from Amazon. So this is a super basic monitor arm from Amazon. It comes in 2 parts, where you have the clamp that sticks to the desk and then the other part that sticks to the back of the monitor. And that part actually came in 2 sections, which I removed one because it was just a bit too clunky, and this just shortened it up and made it a bit more of a sturdy setup. There is no height adjustment on this monitor arm. You can only move it back and forth, and that works for me because I found that once I have the height set, I don't tend to move it up and down. One thing that was a big issue on my last setup was cable management, and that was basically just because I had too much going on. I had speakers, I had LEDs, I had smart speakers, I just had too much going on, and with this setup I've reduced everything. So while the cable management isn't perfect, I think it's a lot better. I've actually screwed a power strip onto the bottom of the desk so I can plug stuff straight in, so it cleans it up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it works for me. I don't mind it, and yeah, I'm happy with it compared to my previous setup. So then on top of the monitor, you can see I have this screen bar from Quntis. This is great for me. It reduces the clutter on my desk. It's a desk lamp, but it doesn't take up any space on your desk. And the good thing about this is you can adjust the color temperature depending on the day and the brightness. And when you have it turned on, it doesn't go into your eyes. It's perfectly angled down to cover the whole desk. I really like this product, and it just plugs straight into the back of my monitor. Then behind the monitor, I have two Govee Flow Pro light bars. Now these are just LEDs that stick to the back of the monitor and push out a big light. You can see behind me here. They push out a nice light against the wall just to make the desk setup a bit nicer. Previously I had LED strips along the bottom of the desk, and I just found them annoying because you can't change your mind once you use them, and the cables and stuff just were annoying. Whereas this is all tucked up behind the monitor and you can't really see anything, only the light. They do come with a camera that sticks onto the top of your monitor and will adjust based on what it sees on the screen. But yeah, I don't use the camera because I just like having a solid color, and I also have the power switch just behind the monitor as well, so I can turn it on and off very easily. Also, while we're on the subject of lights, I like to have a candle on my desk just because it gives off a nice vibe. I know someone said in the comments on my last video I might die from the toxin, but I'm willing to take that risk because it smells nice. Then just in terms of the keyboard, I'm still using the Keychron K2. I love this keyboard. I got it over a year and a half ago, and it works great still. It's the original Keychron K2 with Gateron red switches and a white LED. The best thing about this keyboard is it can connect to 3 different devices, so when I'm switching between my work laptop and my personal laptop, it's super quick to connect up. I did get the Apple Magic keyboard, the newer edition, so it's more rounded colours, and I do like typing on that because it is a bit more quiet. If you're on meetings and stuff, it is quiet to type on. The only issue is that you can't really connect to multiple devices. It's kind of a bit of a process where you have to disconnect and reconnect. It's meant for only one computer, so that is a bit of a drawback, but once you are connected up, I really do like typing on this as well. Then with my mouse, I'm still using the MX Master 3. I know I've seen a few people say that they've had issues with it, but personally the MX Master 3 has been great for me. I find it really comfortable to use, and I've had no connectivity issues at all since I started using it, so it's worked great for me. Again, you can customize lots of the buttons, but for me it's just really comfortable to use and I enjoy using it. So as I mentioned previously, I don't really have a speaker on my desk, and that's just because I tend to use the MacBook speaker. I don't really care too much about the sound, and yeah, the MacBook speaker is great for me when I need to watch videos or something like that. If I do really want high quality audio, I tend to plug in my Bose QC35s, the noise cancelling headphones, and yeah, they work great, but in terms of speakers, I just use the MacBook Pro. Then also just a small thing, I have this overhead arm that I got off Amazon. Again, it was really cheap, and I bought it just to potentially use for overhead shots when I'm sitting at my desk, because I'm quite restricted with height in my room because I'm in the attic. So I thought this would be a great option to potentially do some overhead shots in case I needed it. Then in terms of the laptop stand, I just got this off Amazon again. As I said, I have it in clamshell mode most of the time, and yeah, it just sits in there nicely. It's a nice black solid laptop stand, there's not much to say about it. Then also on my desk I have this wireless Magsafe charger from Quntis, and it works great. My iPhone just snaps onto it instantly, and it'll also charge my wireless earbuds. Then lastly, just the chair that I'm using is still the same as the previous setup, and that is the Markus chair from Ikea. It's quite comfortable to sit at, but it does get a bit uncomfortable after long periods of time. I've actually taken the arms off because I just found it more easy to not have them there when I'm at my desk, because they tend to hit the underside of the desk, so I took them off and it works great for me. Alright, so that's it for my desk setup. I really like my setup at the moment, but no doubt it'll change over the next few months. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.